The last thing I want to do is drag Mary. But these folks' math is mathing. I'm Jasmine T, and here's a quick recap on the cult of the Real Housewife. Episode 1 breaks down where these cult rumors came from anyway. Mary's grandmother, Rosemary, was a pastor in Indianapolis who felt that God called her to Salt Lake City to save souls. So she packed up her daughter, Rosalind, moved there, and began her ministry. Eventually, though, she circled back to Indy during a tent revival and met her future husband, Robert. Rosemary wasn't even feeling Robert like that at first because he was 20 years younger than her, but her congregation was like, oh, he can keep the ministry going after you go be with God. It's okay. So they got married. And while he seemed all nice and friendly and in love with her, people often referred to him as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, saying that he could turn on that nice nasty real quick. Mama, as the congregation affectionately called her, was the only person that could keep Robert in line, but when she unexpectedly passed away, he began to get close with Mary, which brings us to the pastor of Faith Temple that we met on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. But the show really only put a spotlight on Mary and her congregation because people started coming out the woodwork saying things like forced labor, humiliation, and financial abuse were taking place. There was even a man named Cameron who knew one of the housewives that claimed that he and Mary had romantic relations and that he was so infatuated that he mortgaged his home and gave her $300,000. Episode 2 dives into Mary's background and how she rose to power. Her sister claims that everything you see is fake. She says that they grew up on welfare and Mary has always been boy crazy and money hungry. So much so that Mama had kicked Mary out of the church before she passed. However, that provided the perfect opportunity for Robert Sr. to put on his cape and save Mary from the devil and bring her back into the fold. But Mary's mama was not here for that mess. She did not want her stepdad marrying her 22-year-old daughter. So she made a speech and left the church and took half the congregation with her. Episode 3 was full of facts. This co-expert and this journalist broke down why their leadership style was dangerously manipulative and harmful. We heard story after story from old congregation members about how Mary and Robert drove wedges between their relationships, exploited them financially, publicly humiliated them, and then would just deny it all on camera on the show. The rumors kept swirling, Faith Temple did close, and Mary left the show for a season. But she came back without Robert Sr. and has quickly become one of the franchise's favorite housewives. Her storyline has since shifted to focus on her son, Robert Jr., who's going through a lot right now. I was shocked to learn this information, but I'm still not sold that it's a cult. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments.